Hello world, today I'm bringing my full review of the Asus ROG G531GT. There's a lot of interest in this laptop because it's a mid-range laptop with an MSRP at about $1,000 that brings a 9th generation Intel Core i7-9750H coupled with 8 GB of RAM and a GTX 1650 from Nvidia. So right up front, my overall first impressions of this laptop are very positive. This is a great performer. So my audience viewers that are into productivity, using their machines for things like architecture and design, programming, video editing, the ROG 531GT is an excellent choice. When it comes to my gamers in the audience, however, it's another story. The G531GT is a great choice for a very specific segment of gamers. The GTX 1650 is a great performer for the basic gamer. In my testing, when it came to AAA titles, such as Shadow of the Tomb Raider, 60 FPS was achievable, however some settings will need to be tweaked and lowered to reach that magical 60 FPS standard. However, for my esports fans in the audience, games such as Overwatch, PUBG, Fortnite, all hit more than 60 FPS, ranging from 60 to even 100 FPS in some games at high settings. So for people who are into the popular esports games, the G531GT is a great choice. When it comes to the hardcore gamers, you'll definitely want to be considering a more powerful option when it comes to the discrete graphics card. I'll put links in my description down below. I'm currently working on a review video for a higher end model from MSI, the GL63, which comes with a GTX 1660 Ti. So overall build of this laptop is quite good. It's not rugged like the Asus Tough Edition laptops rated for military grade durability, but you can feel it's very hefty and can handle being thrown into a backpack without issues. The keyboard on the G531GT is great to type on. I had no issues with it. It's an IPS panel, which is great, but unfortunately the model I picked up was only 60 Hz, which might disappoint some of the more competitive gamers out there, but I feel it's a fair pairing with the GTX 1650 if you can find this at the right price point. For my creators out there, people doing design work, this screen is rated at 100% Adobe sRGB. It is a very color accurate display, so I recommend this laptop as a solid thumbs up for creative work. As for the trackpad of the G531GT, it's using Windows Precision drivers, so the trackpad experience on this laptop is just excellent. As for battery life, I managed to get up to an impressive 5 hours while just doing simple tasks in Google Chrome, streaming video, stuff like that. Of course, if you're doing more intensive work like gaming or productivity tasks such as rendering or design, your mileage will definitely vary. Now I have to point out some things to my audience. To reach this price point of an MSRP of $1,000, or keep in mind sub $1,000 when you could find this on sale, Asus definitely had to make a few compromises. The first compromise is lack of webcam. This laptop has no webcam. So for those viewers that I have in my audience who are doing lots of conference calls, any type of video calls, or even Twitch streaming, you'll need to pick up a USB external webcam, or if that seems inconvenient to you, you'll want to look elsewhere. The second compromise that Asus has made on this laptop to bring this price down is on the speaker quality. There's lots of holes along this side, but don't be fooled. It's just for ventilation. There is no sound coming out of this top part of the chassis. The speakers are bottom firing on this laptop. And in my testing, the best word I can use to describe these speakers is just trash. With this laptop, Asus definitely compromised on the speaker quality, assuming that most gamers would be using headsets, which I also definitely recommend if you pick up this laptop. I'm gonna put my microphone close to the speakers so you can hear a little sample of what it sounds like. This is max volume. Visitor Center store, and for all the Android lovers in the audience, I'm gonna be taking you to see the Android lawn. All the Android statues for every version that Google has released. We're gonna see the statue for each version. So I would even go as far as to say the speakers on this laptop are so bad. My smartphone speaker produces better sound than these laptop speakers. So right out of the box, I'm seeing the G531GT has an unoccupied 2.5-inch drive bay slot for expansion, which is great. Also, this is a 48 watt-hour battery, a little bit on the small side for a gaming laptop. However, the 9th generation Intel Core i7 is very power efficient. here's the RAM slots. I am seeing that only one slot is occupied. So out of the box, this laptop is running with single channel memory, one 8GB DIMM. So I'm definitely going to recommend adding in another 8GB module so you can at least have 16GB of RAM. And here we have our NVMe SSD. It's a 512GB module out of the box. So this could always be swapped out for a 1TB as well if you want to reach your full storage potential. And here are those bottom firing speakers. But getting into the numbers, Shadow of the Tomb Raider averaged at about 50 FPS on high settings. So of course, if you want to hit that magical 60 FPS benchmark for Tomb Raider, you definitely would need to tweak a little bit of the settings and tone down some of the less necessary game elements. Moving on though, Skyrim Special Edition played at 60 FPS during my entire play session. Now VSync was enabled, so if you're using this laptop and you hook it up to an external display, theoretically you could disable VSync and perhaps reach even higher than 60 FPS. So if you had an external monitor that was 144 Hz, perhaps you could get closer to about 100 FPS, which is what I saw in games like Overwatch and Saints Row. Overwatch maintained an average stable 70 FPS during gameplay, even when there were explosions and enemies on the scene, which is great. This was at ultra level settings, so if you have an external display, you can turn it down, tune the settings even lower, and perhaps reach frame rates exceeding 100 FPS. Now, Saints Row, this is a dated game at this point, but I still just put it on there. I played it through just for fun. This one averaged at 85 frames per second. So taking a look at this graph here at our CPU temps, I did see that in Fortnite I was averaging about 70 degrees Celsius, which is good. On Overwatch, the temperatures got a little bit hotter at 73 degrees Celsius, PUBG at 76, and then the most taxing game on the list that I tested, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, my temps hit around 80 degrees Celsius during core gameplay.
The GTX 1650 is bringing more than 25% performance when compared with last generation's GTX 1050 Ti. So the GTX 1650 is a huge upgrade from last year's Ti edition of the 50 series mobile graphics. So would I recommend it? I think when it comes down to it overall, yes. The Asus ROG G531GT gives a very solid overall package for the right customer. As long as you're not the kind of person who needs top of the line graphics, this laptop is a great choice. The 9th generation Intel Core i7-9750H performs quite well in this laptop, and thermals were acceptable in most cases, even when gaming under full load. So yes, I would recommend this. However, I would probably only pick it up if I can find it on sale, anywhere between $800 to $900. At $1,000 plus sales tax, I would have a little bit harder time recommending this laptop due to some of the compromises that Asus has taken on this model.
Also, by special request via comment from one of my viewers in my unboxing video, I want to make a note here that the power adapter for the G531GT weighed in at 0.8 pounds. If you want to take a look at my full unboxing video of the G531GT, I'll put a link to that video in the description down below.
Overall, the good design, coupled with small bezels, great keyboard, excellent trackpad with Windows Precision drivers, gives a very positive overall experience while using this laptop. So as long as you're okay with the lower end GTX 1650, this would be a solid thumbs up recommendation to buy. So thanks for watching. Take a look in the description box down below. I'll put links down below to buy this laptop, and if you're interested in this laptop after watching this review, I definitely recommend keep coming back to this video, checking my description. I will do my best to check on a weekly basis to update those links to find good sales for you guys. So like this video, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more content like this. Thanks for watching. Aporto Dev out.